When it's my turn, I'm doing high intensity, and then I come back, and then it's someone else's turn. Skipping rope. I taught in the Bronx a few years ago. Oh, can they skip? 2 ropes together, and they're just going like this. They said, "Do you want to go?" I said, "I'll watch." There's your high intensity. When it's your turn, your high intensity. The soccer field, the basketball court, sessions of high intensity and recovery. Let's go to the African plains. No animal jogs. They're either running for their life or they're stopping. And now, science is showing that this is the most effective form of exercise. But it gets better. What I've just shown you is pretty good. So we're getting to the end of the second 30 seconds high intensity. It's morning, because it's the best time to do it. Because if you do it after breakfast, a lot of the energy is going to digestion. But if you can do it first thing in the morning, all your body's energies can go to your muscles for the exercise. And there's no need to eat, but you do need to drink. You need to drink water because it'll unlock your stores. Because we've got some amazing stores. So getting to the end of the second set of 30 seconds high intensity, glycogen stores are being plucked. And it's an amazing process because they're little molecules of glucose already in your muscle cell, waiting to be plucked and put through the pathway. Plucked, put through the pathway. We're running out of glycogen stores, especially by the third set. So we're running out of fuel. So what the brain now does is it causes a release from the pituitary gland of the human growth hormone. The human growth hormone is active when we're growing. Probably doesn't surprise you to know that I stopped growing at 16. My son William, he grew 2 inches from 19 to 22. Boys can be growing a lot later. The human growth hormone, once we stop growing, goes basically into retirement. But some people are very busy in their retirement, is that right? So the human growth hormone, remember, it's released because what are we running out? We're running out of fuel. We're running out of our glycogen stores. And so the human growth hormone, because the brain's saying, we need more fuel. So the human growth hormone's released and it activates hormone-sensitive lipase. So what's hormone-sensitive lipase? Hormone-sensitive lipase is the enzyme that unlocks the basement stores. So hormone-sensitive lipase is an enzyme that breaks down fat. It's released to start releasing the fat stores. The human growth hormone stops burning glucose as fuel and becomes a fat burner. Why? Glucose burns at 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, it burns at 9 calories per gram. And every weight loss book has this in psychedelic colours, but actually they don't know what a calorie is. A calorie is a unit of energy. And if you want a high energy food, what do you eat? It's a bit hard to say because we've been all sort of brainwashed against it. But we'll look at that in another lecture. No wonder the human growth hormone causes the body to start burning as fat as fuel because we're moving. We're moving and we're moving fast. We need a high octane fuel here. The human growth hormone also increases the body's ability to utilise protein. This week we'll look at the importance of eating adequate protein. We'll look at the importance of the types of protein. We'll look at the importance of not drinking a lot with your meal so you're not washing away the enzymes that break down our protein. Now we're looking at another aspect, and that is implementing this high-intensity interval training every day will increase our body's ability to utilise protein. Our body cannot function without protein. Our body cannot heal without protein. There's more. The human growth hormone causes the circulation of the blood to increase to the skin. This explains why I didn't get any more cold feet down to the extremities, to the skin. This explains why the movie stars pay $1,000 a week for the human growth hormone. Did you know that? I'm offering it to you cut price today. 15 minutes high intensity interval training a day will cause a release of the human growth hormone, and that will remain active for 24 hours. What a bargain. One of the first things I said to you tonight was that inside our body is everything we need. We just need to know how to access it, how to unlock it. And I've got some good news. Muscle knows no age. You know what that means? Whether you're 9 or 90, you can have strong muscles. Now, if you're questioning this, it's time for you to watch the documentary I watched on the plane a little while ago on 100-year-old athletes. Got that? Now, they're not running as fast as the 20-year-olds, but they're athletes. Their body is moving. Activity is life. And you can see by what I've shown you here that you will receive more energy than you expend on your morning walk, on your morning, it's walking if you're running, if you're going up a hill, on your morning exercise, because have you noticed how your breathing changes? Your breathing changes very, very much. And because it changes, you're getting more oxygen going in. As we're sitting, standing here, we're breathing in 500 mil, breathing out 500 mil. Sorry, I'm Australian, we do mil. When you get to the end of your 30 second, you're breathing in 3,600 mil and you're breathing out 3,600 mil. What a change. But in Genesis 2 verse 7, the Bible says that God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils. Where did he breathe? Nostrils. That's where we must breathe when we're exercising. If you breathe in and out through your nostrils, you will get 80% more oxygen at the cellular level. 18% more. That's impressive. I was talking to a lady last week. She said, Barbara, I've tried it and I can't. I said, I know. I couldn't at first either, but I've trained myself. I've trained myself only to breathe through the nose. Why? Why should you only breathe through your nose when you're exercising? Nose purifies the air, warms the air, humidifies the air, balances blood gases, and also pressurizes the air ready for the lungs. So let's go back to balances blood gases. What are the blood gases? There's 3 blood gases particularly that it balances. One is oxygen, that's not a surprise. But how it balances oxygen, especially at the cellular level, is carbon dioxide. And the third, which we'll look at more detail in another lecture, is nitric oxide. Mouth breathers aren't getting nitric oxide because nitric oxide is only released in the sinus. So particularly, they're the 3 gases that are balanced by nose breathing. When we look at respiratory, we'll look at this in more detail too. But when you breathe in, by the way, we've got 25 trillion red blood cells and they carry something called hemoglobin, 270 hemoglobin on the red blood cell. And they have 4 docking sites for oxygen. But let me show you what happens. For 4 molecules of oxygen to be picked up in the lungs, there must be 4 molecules of carbon dioxide. When there's 4 molecules of carbon dioxide, then 4 molecules of oxygen can be picked up. It's an exchange. It's an exchange. If If you're breathing out through your mouth, you lose too much carbon dioxide. And maybe there's 4 molecules of oxygen there, but there's only 2 molecules of carbon dioxide, so only 2 molecules of oxygen can be picked up. And then when we get to the